Hi, after a long time, I hope you are taking good care of yourself. And let us start with our job. Today we are going to talk about chi-square test in Excel. That is how to use chi-square test in Excel. So let us start. I hope you remember the survey you have conducted, and we are very happy to see that we have got more than 300 responses. And Tapos has tabulated the responses in this Excel sheet. So what we are having here, we have different variables entered as columns. The first question was whether you consume carbonated drinks, and it was a initial question, and we have taken almost all yes to continue for answering the further questions. The second variable was the most favorite brand that he or she likes. The third variable was most liked flavor. The first one was about the brand of the carbonated drinks. The third variable was regarding most liked flavor. So flavor, we have given choices, very few choices, and they have selected these choices. And then we had got another variable in column E, that is gender. We tried to measure which gender the person was, whether he was a female or whether he was a male. We also tried to measure the age group, occupation of the person, student, service holder, business, and other. And we also talked about monthly income. If he is a student, what is his pocket money? Or she is a student, what is her pocket money? If he or she is a businessman, what is the income per month? Service holder, what is the income per month? And any other occupation, what is the income per month? So 25K means 25,000 to 40,000. This is the range. We have given different ranges. I hope you remember those ranges. So equipped with this data, now we are going to try and do a little bit of analysis, and this analysis will take a form. First, it will take a form like this. So what we have done here is that we have created a table where we have counted how many females are consuming what flavor and how many males are consuming what flavor. Consuming means how much, what is the favorite flavor of males and females. So we have seen in the highlighted portion that the options were others: orange, lemon, mango, and cola. So the columns were showing different options of flavor, and the two rows that we are talking about are showing female and male. Female in top, male in the bottom. And then the third row was showing us the total. So you can always calculate this using Excel, using the count formula. Using what? Using the count formula. So now let us have a look at this. These are known as observed counts. So observed counts gave us a table like this, and total we have got 317 respondents. Out of them, 144 was female, 173 was male. So the female, out of this 144, 64 liked cola, 43 liked mango, 16 liked lemon, orange was favorite of 21 female. Likewise, for males also we have found out this. So these are the totals for orange, lemon, mango, cola and others. We have got only 5 males who liked other flavors, but none of the females was looking for other flavors. Now with this data, we are going to constitute another table, which I have marked as expected counts. So a table that is going to give us expected count. There is a formula of calculation of expected count. I'll give you the formula while we calculate. Fill these blank spaces here. So this is known as a contingency table. This table that we are talking about in observed counts, this is known as a contingency table. And these are known as sales. And this contingency table has got 2 by 5 sales. That is, we have got 10 sales. This 5 means we have got 5 different columns, and 2 means we have got 2 different rows. So this table is a 2 by 5 contingency table. Okay, found out the choice of flavor. So that is the null hypothesis. So we wanted to have a choice of flavor. If the choice of flavor has got something to do with the gender. So what would be the null hypothesis? We can have different forms of null hypothesis, like 2 basic forms. One is the choice of flavor and gender are not related. And if you write this, we can alternative hypothesis as choice of flavor and gender are related. We talked about that in the last videos. If we write the null hypothesis as choice of flavor and gender are independent, then we'll have to write choice of flavor and gender are dependent as the alternative hypothesis. So we are trying to find out from the table, what we are trying to find out from the table is that whether males and female, that is the gender, has got some specific interest towards a particular flavor. Whether being a female, a person likes orange, or being a male, a person likes cola. That is what we are interested in finding out. If there is a relation between being male and being female and their choices of any of these flavors. So that was our hypothesis. Once again, we are going back to our hypothesis. Hypothesis we can write like this or this. So our first task is to find out the expected counts against each of the sales of the observed table. I have calculated this for you already. Let us find out the formula, how we actually did the calculations. So what we did is that, suppose the corresponding sale of the cross tabulation of the observed counts is cola for female. Let us take this sale. So what is the expected frequency of this sale? So what we have to do is that we'll have to multiply the column total with the row total, that is 152 into 144, and the result should be divided by the grand total.
That is, what happens is that we multiply the column total into the row total and divided it by the grand total. For this cell also, what we do, we multiplied it from the multiplied the row total into column total divided by the grand total. So likewise, if we do it for each of the cells, we will get the expected count. So this is a table we arrive at after doing the calculation for each of the cells. So there is a difference between the observed counts and expected counts, as you can see. But then this is how we go about in calculation of chi-square test using Excel. So this table is known as a 2 by 5 contingency table, because we have got 2 rows and we have got 5 columns. So it is a 2 by 5. So we get 10 cells, 2 by 5 contingency table. So what we have done till now, we have tabulated the observed counts, that frequencies that we have generated from the samples, and with the help of these we have arrived at the expected counts. So this is the table, which again this is also known as a cross tabulation. Expected, we got the table of expected counts. The second and the final task of calculation of chi-square, or do the chi-square test using Excel, is that we'll have to find out the p-value. There's a p-value. P-value is the probability value. There is a relationship between p-value and the level of significance. We'll talk about that in a moment from now. So how to calculate? First, let us see how to calculate the p-value. So what we did here is that we have Susan. Suppose we have already calculated this for you. Let us start it once again for you. So I start with an equal sign, and then I write chi. So once I write chi, chi, then we find out a host of different formulas involving chi-square. So we have selected out of all these simple test called chi-square test. So we double click it here. Then after that, it is prompting us to give the actual range. Actual range means the sample frequency, that we have got this sample frequencies here. Make sure that you do not select the total columns, only the internal cells you will have to select. So first, once you select the actual range, then you give a comma. I have given a comma. Then you select the expected cells, corresponding expected cells. So I have selected all these expected cells and close the formula, comma. So I enter it, and then we got this p-value. So once we get this p-value, now we'll have to compare this p-value with the alpha value. Alpha value is the level of significance. So the fate of the null hypothesis hangs around with the relationship between p-value and alpha value. So in order to reject the null hypothesis, what we'll have to do, we'll have to look at the relationship between p-value and the alpha value. So if the p-value is less than the alpha value, then we can reject the null hypothesis. If it is not less than the alpha value, we will not be able to reject the null hypothesis. Now if you go back to the table set, we see that a p-value is 0.02 and the alpha value is 0.05. That this alpha value is a standard alpha value. So internationally, when we test hypothesis, the researchers always have taken 0.05 is the alpha value. It might go up to 0.1, but you will have to take caution that lower is the level of significance with which you are comparing the p-value. Lower is it, stronger is the result of the hypothesis testing. So if it is 0.1, then the strength of the hypothesis testing would be little less than if it is 0.05. So we should always look forward to a strong test, and this strong test is internationally accepted as if we take 0.05. So here the relationship is that P is less than the alpha value. So what we do, we reject the null hypothesis. What was the null hypothesis? Null hypothesis was this, that choice of flavor and gender are not related. So we reject this null hypothesis, and then therefore we can accept that alternative hypothesis. What is this alternative hypothesis? Alternative hypothesis is the choice of flavor of the carbonated drinks and gender are related, or we can write the alternative hypothesis as the choice of flavor and gender are dependent on each other. So in this case, what was the null hypothesis that we have rejected? We have rejected the null hypothesis. Choice of flavor and gender are independent. So decision is based on the p value and comparison of p value with the alpha value, and with this decision, after this comparison, we have arrived at a decision that we can reject the null hypothesis. That means there is a relationship between favorite flavor with the gender. Now, next question is whether there is a gender-wise inclination towards a particular flavor. Whether males would be loving to have some flavor and females in the contrast would love something else. Let us see ourselves with the data that we have found on this table. This green row is showing the row total percentage, and column percentage is shown by the orange cells. So what does it mean? The row percentage is giving us how much, what is the percentage of them they love cola, what is the percentage of them they love mango, what is the percentage of them that love lemon. And for male also, the greens are showing the same thing. 50.9 is the percentage of what? Of 88 males out of 173 males who said that they love cola. The 44.4 percentage is the 64 out of 144 female who said that they love cola. Likewise, we have calculated for each of these cells, and we have arrived at all row percentage. So this is known as row percentage. If we add up all these rows, we will find out 100%. Now let us see column percentage. Column percentage is that out of all the people who said that they love cola, 152 people said that they love cola, and out of these, what is the percentage of males? 57.9% of the total cola, lovers are males, and 42.1% of total cola lovers are female. Likewise, 61.8% of total orange lovers are female, because this is a female percentage, and 38.2% of all orange lovers are males. Likewise, for lemon, 63.6% are from male and only 36.4% are from female. For mango, 52.4% are female and 47.6% are male. So now what happens with this data? We can really find out a relationship, because we have already rejected the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis rejection means that there is a relationship between the favorite flavor and the gender of the person. So what we have found out here is that cola is favorite among males, because 58% of those who said that cola is their favorite are males. In the contrast, 61.8, that is 62% of the orange lovers are female, whereas only 38.2% of orange lovers are males. So here also lemon also 63.6%. We see a contrast here. 63.6% of lemon lovers are males, whereas only 36.4% of the lemon lovers are female. But then this type of contrast we do not see in among mango lovers. It is almost same, 52.4% and 47.6%. We do not see a huge difference between the mango lovers across the gender. So what we have found out from this table is that cola is favorite for both the genders, because 44% of the female like cola and 50.9% of the males like cola. But out of these cola lovers, we see there is a contrast. 58% of cola lovers are male and only 42.1% of the cola lovers are female. Likewise, 63.6% of the lemon lovers are male, 36.4% of the lemon lovers are only female. But then the situation little changes when we talk about orange. In case of orange, 61.8% of the orange lovers are female. In contrast, only 38.2% of the orange lovers are male. So we have an idea of who actually loves what kind of flavor. Yes, we know that yes, cola is the most favorite. But then out of this, 47.9% of the sample loved cola. But out of this, 58% are male. In contrast, only 42% are female. So we say that cola, the chances are that if somebody is buying a cola, he is supposed to be 58% of the chances are that be a male, and 42% of the chances are that that person would be a female. So in case of orange, yes, in case of orange, chances are that it would be a female and rather than a male. In case of lemon also, it would be chances are that it would be a male, more prone to be a male, but then compared to the female. So when the marketers find out this kind of information, they can have their marketing strategy targeted towards a particular group of people, because gender is very much external, and people can find out who is of what gender. So if you know that most of the cola drinkers are male, so you have your advertisement targeted towards male. And when you know that your maximum orange drink is loved by female, so you can target it to the female. When you know that lemon is more favorite among males, so you can target this lemon flavor among the males. So that's it. When you get these tables, do not only look at the raw values, you always try and find out row percentage and column percentage. Probably these percentages will give you some idea, a hidden thing which is there inside the raw numbers. So if somebody tells you that statistics is boring, somebody tells you that numbers are really listless, so you tell them that no, every number tells a story. Every cell has got a story behind this number. At least in case of cross tabulation, you can find out a sea of information from this kind of data. So try to understand, try to analyze these type of tables. What you'll have to do, you'll have to find out the row percentage and you'll have to find out the column percentage, and look for contrasting things around it. And before I finish, let me talk about the mango. Mango, you do not find out, mango flavor, you do not find out much differences across the genders. So as a market, I'm sitting in the fan, so it might be the female, it might be the male as far as my mango flavored carbonated drinks are concerned. So I'll be targeting for both the people. But in case of both the gender, but in case of cola, in case of lemon, in case of orange, I have equipped with the numbers. So my marketing strategies, my advertising, my placement, my promotion, everything would be towards that particular group of people, when we try to. But then at the same time, you must not underestimate that cola is the favorite among all carbonated drinks, all lovers of carbonated drinks. So you must understand that yes, cola is number one. But even within cola, males are more prominent. But orange is, not favorite. Only 10.7% of people are saying that they love orange drink. But then out of these 10.7 people, 61.8% is female. Out of 25.9% of people who say that they love lemon, 36.4% is only are female, but then 63.6% are male. So with this note that yes, we can really do wonderful jobs doing a simple cross tabulation and looking at these numbers, and we looked at these numbers because we knew that the moment we rejected the null hypothesis, we knew that there is a storehouse of information waiting in this particular table. So we tried to find out this, and we are very happy and we are very fortunate that we could find out a very clear relationship between gender and their favorite flavor. So with this note, let us say goodbye for now, and we'll be meeting for other videos very soon. But till that time, take care, be best of your health. I wish you that we meet you once again, maybe face to face in our classes. But otherwise, if you are not my student also, you are welcome to send me queries. In case you have any queries in the comment section, and I would love to answer this. This is a very simple illustration targeted to the MBA students, very basic. Do not expect, and I'm sure I'm not giving any advanced information to any one of you. But then if you know this many of small, basic level, grassroots level analysis, you can unearth a lot of hidden gems. Those are there inside these numbers. So once again, thank you very much for watching the video. Take care, and till another video. Bye bye.